problem is that we have colleagues that are scared of their own shadow. Number one, they are not thinking clearly, or they have their own specific motives in why they are not standing by the president. But if Republicans can stand by somebody with 34 felony convictions who incited an insurrection, and then Republicans said, you know what, don't believe your lying eyes, those were just patriots on a tour, then I'm sorry, we can look at what the president was going through, because he was not sitting in a criminal courthouse or chilling at Mar-a-Lago. Instead, he was tired because he had been out in the streets, on the road, taking his message directly to the people. And honestly, I don't think that any presidential campaign runs just on the person at the top of the ticket. You played a clip of the vice president. For everybody that says that they are so in love with the vice president, which I have some questions about some of these people, but nevertheless, she is on the ticket. So if that's who you want to vote for her. Because if anything happens, there is a natural succession plan in the fact that she is the vice president. So if you don't want to vote for Joe, vote for Kamala. She's on the ticket. But at the end of the day, we have to win. It's not Joe and Kamala that are the enemy. It's not them that are the threat. It's this Supreme Court that will become worse. It's also MAGA that has proven themselves to be ineffective and ignore the people.
Well, you know, you ready? Oh, I want to make a joke about her eyelashes feeding off her brain. The problem is her eyelashes are fake and they don't actually consume organic material in order to grow. And I'm not sure that there's much of a brain in there to consume in the first place. Let me close this down. I've saved it. They don't want to listen to the people, says the party that some of whom are saying, we got to push Joe aside, even though the delegates have spoken. They have placed themselves, the Democrats, in a lose-lose situation where we are in the process of, hold on. We are in the process of watching the snake devouring its own tail. We are in the process of watching infighting that is going to take down the Democrats one way or the other. What's her face? What's her name? Her name is Crockett. What's her first name? I forgot her first name. She's accusing the Republicans of not listening to their electorate when she is attacking the Supreme Court, which is a product of democracy, while her very party right now is coming out in droves saying, we need to bump Joe from the ticket because the dude is senile, but the people have already spoken, at least in the primaries, so we need to override the process of the primaries in order to preserve democracy. Everybody, I was doing the live stream. We're doing like sort of a co-stream among all the creators who are law tubers, you know, in one sort of panel type thing. And I realized I can't do it. I can't do it because I want to talk. And I appreciate some people want to listen to the Alec Baldwin trial. But I got a big mouth. Jasmine Crockett. Thank you, Tiger Mouth. I've got a not big mouth. If I want to sit and be quiet and watch television, I'll watch a movie. I want to comment on that trial. So I think what I'm going to do, and I also want to talk about other stuff, and I don't want to hijack everyone else's stream because it's one communal stream. So I don't think the format is going to work for me because I can't shut up. But I do want to watch a bit of the trial. And what I'm thinking is that I see the trial is back up now, the Alec Baldwin trial. I think maybe we'll watch it. And when we have some breaks, talk about the other stuff. The thumbnail today is obviously a crappy thumbnail because my thumbnail guy has some electrical issues up in Commie, Canada, behind the Iron Rainbow, the Maple Gulag. So I couldn't get Dog Digger. Am I trying to contact you? I don't think so. But let me. I want to say that I don't think I've been trying to contact anybody, but I am totally senile these days. So what I think I'm going to do, because I kind of want to watch the trial, I think we'll stream the trial, and then when we have quiet times, we'll talk about the other politics. I'm not going to stream this trial every day because I think it's going to be too long, too boring. I don't think it's going to turn into a Johnny Depp, Amber Heard type trial. I don't think it is in any way, shape, or form as legally relevant as the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. And now I'm wondering why I can't hear anything because I had it on mute, but there's no audio. And Pudge has somehow managed to find me in a basement. I don't know how many stairs she managed to slide her tushy down. You want to say hi to people? Yeah, I don't trust her not to poop on me this time. So that's what I think we're going to do. Let me just make sure that we're live across all the platforms. We are live on... Hold on, let me refresh on Rumble. We should be live on Rumble. Bada bing, bada boom, we are. All right. We should be live on vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Spam bots. Oh shit, spam bots are pretend. Okay, that's a problem. Sorry. Thank you very much. Neurodivergent. You could always hang out in the chat with us, David. Yeah, well, yes, but I need to talk, not chat. Someone said type instead of chat, but no, not going to work. Neurodivergent says spam bots pretending to be you. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. No, I have not been trying to contact anybody. I didn't want to be come off as rude if I was supposed to contact somebody and forgot to. If you get a contact me in a DM or a reply, it's not me. Period. I am looking to not decrease communications, but I'm certainly not looking to increase communications. So it is not me. If you see it, oh God, get out. And if you do see it, report it and make sure that it's report the account. I don't know where she's waddling off to, but she'll find it. So that's now I appreciate that's what you're talking about. Share the link around, and we're going to get this trial going. They're having a sidebar now. So for those who are not paying attention or who have not been paying attention, the Alec Baldwin trial has commenced. Involuntary manslaughter, punishable by 18 months in jail. I'm going to get this going up here, and then we'll be able to do it when we want to bring it back up. And thus far, they had opening statements, which, in the case of the defense, were really more of closing arguments. I mean, the defense, it was an argument and not a here's what we're going to show you in the context of this trial. Alec Baldwin was upset. He didn't pull the trigger. He didn't mean to do it. Yada yada yada. I took a few notes as I was driving, and they're going to be totally incomprehensible because I was dictating them. The prosecution gets up and says, the prosecution had a decent opening statement. They said, these are actors. They make believe, and yet, they treat a set like it's, willy-nilly. They can do whatever the hell they want, but it's not make believe. It's real life. And this was a dangerous set. There were issues on it. And Alec Baldwin wasn't following basic safety protocol. He asked for the biggest gun they had for the purposes of this movie. Am I doing something wrong, or is there no audio here? And apparently there's video footage of Alec Baldwin firing a gun, and I don't know if they're talking about blanks or live rounds. Video of him pulling the hammer when he's not supposed to. This is in the prosecution, what they're going to show you. The defense came up there and basically said there was no reason why Alec Baldwin had any reason to believe there were live rounds on the set. And if they were in fact plinking, as some of us believe they might have been, or as reports were indicating that there was plinking on or off the set, if it comes out that Alec Baldwin knew that there were live rounds anywhere near that set, if there's video of him actually firing live rounds when he's doing the safety training with that firearm, dude, he's in big trouble. His attorney, in opening statements for the defense, said something very funny. He said, there's not supposed to be real bullets on set. If it turns out that Baldwin was firing live rounds anywhere within the vicinity, especially with that very gun, he's cooked. I don't know if that evidence is going to come out, but it will be damning, and I thought that there was evidence to that effect. He said, Hannah Gutierrez was supposed to check the gun. Michael Hall was supposed to check the gun. Both failed, not Alex's fault. True, except we have video footage of Alec Baldwin saying, I would never point a gun at somebody. I know not to do that. No. And then apparently he still did it because it hit somebody and he was holding the gun when it went off, whether or not he pulled the trigger. Safety has to occur before the gun is placed in a percent. I have no idea what that says. Safety has to occur before the gun is placed, on a set. And the defense said, Alec Baldwin was given that gun. Michael Hall said cold gun. And then the Baldwin's attorney said, yeah, cold gun means nobody can get hurt with that gun except if it falls on your foot. It's supposed to be a total clean bill of health. Total safety. Cold gun, nobody can get hurt with it. It's totally safe unless you use it as a hammer or a mallet. Bull crap, because it's still a real gun. Bull crap, because Alex said in his online interviews and whatever with Stephanopoulos and etc., he knew never to point a gun at a person. No. So bull crap that his defense attorney can say cold gun. It means it can't hurt somebody unless it falls on their foot because it's still a real flipping gun, and Baldwin knew that. All right, so court will resume shortly. We've got time for something. We've got time for something now that I've checked all of them boxes, people. And let me do something here. How do I do this? I'm going to go like this. Okay, hold on. I'm not going to. No. Hold on one second. Let me pull up an article for this. I want an article. Daily Mail. There we go. I'm going to pull up two things because one is a precursor to the sponsor of the day, which is twc.health/Viva. And if you're following the news, people, there's talk about another bird flu virus. I have a bit of a cold, actually, ironically enough. Hold on. Just a dry tickle in my throat. But we're hearing a lot of chatter about the bird flu over the last few weeks, few months, because we're heading into an election and they've got to do everything. World War III, bird flu, Joe Biden dementia. First off, birds actually get the flu is the question. Seems like people play Scrabble, just combined two words and said, let's use this. But the real talk, it's actually quite serious. There's been some articles here. Hold on one second. We're going to come back to TWC in a second, but there's been some articles talking about the bird flu and how much more virulent it can be than here. Where is the article? God, I hate ads and articles. Bird flu spreads as highly contagious disease is detected at an 8th farm in one Aussie state. And they're going to find it. They're going to build up the fear. They're going to build up the terror because we're heading into an election. Governments thrive off panic. They thrive off fear in order to ensure their control. And that's where the fine folks at the wellness company are coming in. There's talk about the flu, the bird flu being 15 times more deadly than coronavirus. Human to human contact, human to human transmission, whether or not that means it's more that genetically modified stuff or gain of function research, who knows? But one thing that you're going to want to make sure of is that you have an emergency contagion kit in your home when the poo-poo hits the fan, because it will hit the fan. And when it does, there's going to be shortages like there were the last time because supply chains get interrupted. You're going to have wait lines for doctors. They're going to gouge you at the doctors. And so you go to twc.health/Viva and get your contagion kit, which contains an assortment of medications for bird flu, respiratory viruses. It contains budesonide, Tamiflu, hydroxychloroquine, all the other stuff. It'll save you money from a doctor's visit. It'll save you the lines. It will have you protected in case there are any shortages. Kits are only available in the USA, unfortunately for Canadians. Go to the website, twc.health/Viva. Promo code Viva will get you $30% off, $30 off on checkout. Medical board approved, red tape removed. Kits of only available in the USA, and the link is in the description. Oh, Lordy. All right, now let's see what's going on here. Is this trial back on? Court will resume shortly, and I'm seeing nothing with any audio in the backdrop. I'll play one highlight from this morning. Well, first of all, let me just make sure that we're good everywhere. I think we are good. Viva Barnes Law, .locals.com. I think Duckfat was joking about them. No one in our community would fall for them. LOL, says no divergent. No, but I now that you mentioned it, I have noticed it on Rumble. It's just like a Bitcoin chatbot Viva Frei, and they give some European number. That's not how I roll, people, and I think you all know that. Let me refresh in vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Make sure we're good here. Here we go. It goes. JR6 says, anytime you touch a gun, you are supposed to clear the gun to assure it is not loaded. My dad taught me that at the earliest of age. If you are ever at a gun shop, you will note that each time the gun is handed back and forth, each person clears it every time. No excuse. The only problem with that, JRR6, it's the decent argument raised by the defense. Guys, am I missing something? I see something. It's the decent argument raised by the defense. It's like they need to make it look real. They can't have it clear because you have a gun that needs to be firing blanks. And so the only real question is it Alec Baldwin's obligation to make sure that the rounds that are in the bullet are dummy blank rounds and not live rounds? Is he even capable of doing that? None of that makes any difference if you do not point that gun at a person. And so that's the issue. The issue is not that. Hold on. Damn dog. Quiet, Pudge. Hold on. Stay in there and be quiet. Thank you. The issue in this case is that You're dealing with a movie set where, like the defense attorney says, everything has to be realistic. It has to have rounds in it. It has to make a boom and a smoke thing when it's fired, even with dummy rounds. And I could be amenable to the argument that it wasn't Baldwin's responsibility to check the rounds in the gun once it's given to him, because it went through, in theory, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the armorer. It went through Michael Hall, the assistant, or the assistant director. And he's not supposed to go in there like, oh, you guys did it, and now I'm going to go and shake these rounds as if Baldwin can detect a real round from a dummy round from a blank. But you don't point the gun at somebody. And so if the prosecution's listening to me or my analysis, is like, good. Alec Baldwin was never, we can concede. Maybe it was his responsibility to check the gun. Maybe it wasn't. It was his responsibility not to point it at Helena Hutchins, period. And he did it. And he admitted that he knew he wasn't supposed to do it in his interviews. All right, here, check this out. We can bring it back up. And he pointed it.
Which is the 911 dispatch.
Okay, so this morning they had the first responder police guy showing up at the scene afterwards. It's been uneventful, but
that's what we agree.
All right.
Okay, and if we could just, so that the jury can see.
Viva, I love watching you
6,
fish, but if you cast
right,
right-handed, you should get a spinning wheel with the right hand. The amount of heat I've been taking for that. Very random.
Defendant's
Okay, so
admitted, you may publish.
first witness today is the first responder police guy who was the first one on scene. They're giving him a hard time because he didn't administer aid properly, or he was just sitting there, diddling his thumbs, and he didn't sequester or isolate all of the relevant parties, and he let the witnesses talk among each other. It's so stupid. I mean, I don't know what he was supposed to do. And you'll tell me how the audio levels are. And they're making hay, or at least the defense is making hay of the fact that this first responder police guy allowed the witnesses to talk among each other. Okay. Let's see what happens here. I'll turn my volume down if I'm too loud. Can you hear? Don't point a gun at something you don't want to destroy is what Bucklebrush Jones said. It's what they said. What just happened here? Colin de Bin, qu'est-ce qui se passe ici? Okay, now the audio is back. So this, I think we're going to do it this way. When there's a pause, we'll go cover some other stories about Joe Biden. I'll compulsively check the markets to see how he's doing. And I can talk as much as I want without risking pissing people off. And if you just want to hear quiet audio time commentary, audio with no commentary, go watch it on Law and Crime.
I can't see the page at the bottom. Is this page
And
6?
I appreciate I'm playing with my hair a lot today because I got a Maxine Waters video to pull up that's
and
make you laugh your boobies off.
Do you see how it says accident, accident, accident?
Okay, here we're back to trial now. You guys, the audio is good. Let me know what you think.
I can touch it. Oh, accident.
Does that say Viva? No, that says VA. Okay.
Okay. And then I would ask, the 911 is exhibits 9 and 10, which is now I and J. Exhibits 9 and 10 that was entered into and played at opening by stipulation, and it asked to play and enter them. And
so they had the lapel camera of this.
J.
I don't know if he's a police officer or an EMT. I think he had the rights of a police officer, so I think he's police, but a first responder police officer.
Yes.
And they played his lapel
It
video,
just splits because
showed
of
the aftermath of the shooting.
Okay. All right. So upon stipulation, not being corrected otherwise, go ahead.
Thank you. Can we turn the volume up?
You may publish.
I actually meant to say you'd laugh your butt off, not your boobies off. So that was one heck of a Freudian.
This is 911, what's the location of your emergency? We need an ambulance out at Bonanza Creek Ranch right now. We've had 2 people shot on a movie set accidentally. You said someone was shot? 2 people accidentally.
They played this because this woman making the call blames the assistant director at the end. Listen.
San Jose Fire and EMS, what's the location of the emergency? Bonanza Creek Ranch. We've had 2 people accidentally shot on a movie set by a prop
and then she's going to swear at the assistant director or use his name swearing. Listen to this.
This fucking AG that yelled at me at lunch because asking about revisions. This motherfucker. Did you see him lean over my shoulder and yell at me? He's supposed to check the guns. He's responsible for what's happening. Now, Mimi? No. I'm a script supervisor.
How many people are injured?
2 that I know of. I was sitting, we were rehearsing, and it went off, and I ran out.
Rehearsing, the gun went off. It's the effing AD's obligation to check it.
You heard some language, and then that the first assistant, was supposed to check the gun. Did you hear that?
Yes, we heard that.
Yes. Okay. Did you hear anybody on the 911 call mention Alec Baldwin at all?
No.
I asked you before we broke about a prior statement. I asked you if you made a prior statement that we talked about a few times. So I'm just going to approach quickly and refresh your recollection. And this is November 30th, 2023, your pretrial interview, Officer LaFleur. And I'm just going to ask you to read down here.
Your Honor, and again, Mr. Spiro is testifying as he's handing it to the witness.
Just identify what the document is and then move away.
And the defense is trying to hold this guy's statement that, he never placed Alec Baldwin under arrest, and that Alec Baldwin had never been placed under arrest. And that this guy said it didn't look like he meant to do it. And like, so you thought he was innocent.
So and I'm just going to take this back. It is fair that you said when asked that it came in as like, it appeared to be, and what the dispatch said, it was an accidental shooting by a prop gun.
Good, that's what the dispatch said.
I didn't know if there was any. I took it as the way how everybody was acting, and that the individual who claimed to have been holding the firearm was still there, that there was
Objection, Your Honor.
the way he was.
Objection, Your Honor.
Let him finish it, but now they're going to have a sidebar. Let me see if I can do something, change the layouts. No, that didn't do anything. What if I do this? No, that doesn't do anything. See, I'm trying to figure out. So now here's another thing that they're going to have to change, because if I put up a comment, actors are not. I don't think actors should have to change. See, look, okay, so that covers my face. That's obviously they're going to have to tinker with that or allow me to move my screen around. I mean, actors shouldn't be checking the gun either, but they shouldn't be pointing it at people. I think the prosecution should hammer home. Nobody's blaming Alec for not checking the bullets. We're blaming Alec for pointing the gun at a human.
Was an accidental shooting by a prop gun. So I didn't know if there was any. I took it as the way how everybody was acting, and that the individual who claimed to have been holding the firearm was still there, that there was the way he was, his demeanor was that there wasn't any intention behind the act.
There you go. No intention behind the act.
Yes. You made that statement.
He made that statement.
Yes.
What act?
And
What's the definition of act?
Whether you remembered receiving any information as to the ammunition, whether they be prop or otherwise, that was at the scene. If you recalled Duran Curtin, one of the individuals in the church, giving you information. Do you remember that?
There's a lot of people in the church giving information.
Remind me to come back to the act.
Sure. I asked you, do you remember whether or not somebody told you that Sarah was shaking and going through the book?
Objection, Your Honor. This is hearsay. This is hearsay coming in. Can we approach? I don't know what to do.
All right, now I'll tell you what my point is. The defense is trying to get this guy to say he made a statement. It didn't appear that there was any intention behind the act. And they're trying to say, so you felt that there was no intention behind Alec Baldwin and the act. The issue being what anyone understands by the act. Was it first degree intentional homicide? No. And Baldwin's not being charged with that. So the fact that this guy says there was no intention behind the act, it depends on what you mean when you refer to the act as the act. Are you referring to having pulled the trigger, pointed the gun, caused first degree murder? Or in this case where he's not being charged with intentionally doing something, but recklessly, well, then who gives a crap what this guy has to say? I don't think there was any intention behind the act because we don't understand what the act is. He hadn't been charged with involuntary manslaughter, which does not require intentionality, but recklessness. And so it's an irrelevant statement. But this guy's trying to use it as some sort of judicial admission as though this first responder is the guy who gets to adjudicate on the culpability of an individual because he made a statement within the first few hours of a very volatile, fluid situation. And everybody's saying, he pulled the trigger. That's the other issue. He says, I didn't pull the trigger. Defense in their opening said, yeah, he didn't pull the trigger. And now the investigation smashed the gun so that we can't even make that evidence because they broke the gun when trying to cause a misfire. Prop guns are real guns. It's interesting
As
how
I was saying, officer, did you learn at the scene whether or not Sarah was going through the bullets and saying, I don't know how it got there. Did you learn that information? Do you recall?
I don't remember. If you could refresh my memory to which part, which
Sure.
person said what.
Sure. And I'm just going to approach the witness and show him this lapel recording.
Excuse me. Yep, prop guns are real guns. Well, they're called prop guns because they're property of the set, but they're real guns, period. Why can't they just use a total replica?
Okay.
Acting.
Does that refresh your recollection?
It appears it's a recording type out of what my body worn camera recorded. Yes.
Okay. And when you learned this information, did you do anything with that information?
To be honest, it's the first time I've heard it in that detail. Body cameras pick up more audio than our ears do.
Okay.
This guy's name is LaFleur, by the way. LaFlower.
You
Or
also testified that the gentleman in the orange jacket came up to you and said, Alec pulled the trigger, or words to that effect. Remember that testimony?
That's what he said. Yes.
Yeah, and you know that witness has stated absolutely he did not say pull the trigger, correct?
okay, well, we don't know
At
that.
that point, I didn't know if he said that or not.
Okay. And then I just want to ask you about one other thing we talked about this morning. Was I asked you about your testimony on direct that Mr. Baldwin was effectively disobeying police orders. Do you remember that testimony on direct?
Yes.
And over the lunch break, have you had a chance to reflect on that testimony?
Are you asking if he talked to
Sure.
somebody?
Okay. Do you think it's a fair, honestly, sir, a fair characterization to this jury to say that Mr. Baldwin was disobeying police orders at the scene?
Of course it's not. I didn't see him
He
disobeying
was
anything.
given an order, but I didn't repeatedly tell him not to.
Talk
on
with
my
other
behalf.
witnesses.
And so don't you think that given what actually happened at the scene, that really, in all fairness to Mr. Baldwin, he wasn't really disobeying police orders, was he, sir?
I don't think he was.
To an extent, yes.
You were the first officer on scene,
Yes.
and you did your best, no question, right?
Yes.
And you're aware, right, because a lot of this testimony I'm not going to get into, you're aware as you sit here that the issue of Ms. Hutchins passing is not a contested issue by the defense. You know that?
Yes.
Genius question.
And you did sort of corral the witnesses, I think you said, right?
Yes.
And then after you did that, you turned them over, in essence, to the lead detective, Detective Cano.
Yes.
Okay. And he interviewed those witnesses, right?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know if he's testifying for this state in this case?
Objection.
Objection.
I don't know.
The heck does that have to do with anything?
You want to move on or withdraw?
Sure.
Ignore the question and the.
Oh, and then the judge gave the jury instructions this morning, like, if I
Do you know how the live bullet got on set?
I do not.
Do you know why the armorer loaded the live bullet into the pop gun?
I do not.
Do you know why the first assistant director, head of safety, failed to detect it?
I do not.
I have no further questions for this witness.
All right, totally useless, but that guy was only there for one purpose, to bring in the lapel chest camera that he had of the incident. There's no meaningful cross or redirect.
Can I use the Elmo, please? You know what, let me do this. Where is the defense exhibit DX?
That's H. This is H, yes.
Okay.
I just have to relabel them.
Okay.
They should relabel them, not label them.
All right. Qu'est-ce que quoi ça ici? C'est une annonce? Une publicité? I don't even know what am I reading here? Immigration services. Oh, I'm in Canada, so that might make more sense. And by the way, Alec Baldwin looks a lot
Officer
like Mark
LaFleur,
Hoppus
let's
from Blink 182.
let's back up a little bit, okay?
Let's do it, LaFleur.
Did I speak with you this morning about the testimony you were going to give?
Objection.
Did Ms. Johnson speak to you this morning about the testimony you were going
It's
to
a very
give?
annoying
No, ma'am.
case right now.
When was the last time someone from the prosecution spoke to you about the testimony you were going to give today?
I don't believe we've talked about the testimony I was going to give, but just about the pre-trial interview.
So you mentioned a pretrial interview. So let me ask you, do you recall when your pretrial interview was? Would it refresh your memory if I showed you a copy of the transcript?
Yes.
I don't. They're both giving this guy a hard
Ma'am?
time, and I genuinely don't understand why. This guy's testimony is pretty much utterly irrelevant as far as the charges go,
Let me know.
except for the fact that he had the lapel camera, which showed some, graphic, shocking imagery of the incident right after in the aftermath, and Alec
Officer,
Baldwin's
when was your
demeanor.
pretrial interview?
In May.
And do you recall who was there?
Somebody from the defense and somebody from the state.
Someone from the defense.
Yeah, it was a female.
Okay, so just to be clear, at your pretrial interview, it wasn't the state just speaking to you. The defense attorneys were there also, right?
Yes.
And they got to ask you almost all the questions, isn't that right?
Yes, if I could recall, the state didn't have anything to ask.
What?
So the prosecutors didn't ask you a single question.
Not that I can remember, no.
Give me 1 second, people. I have a dog who needs to be squozen.
Do you agree with the defense attorney's assertion this morning that somehow you were coached to give your testimony?
I would object to that characterization, but he is.
Can you rephrase that question?
He's objecting to the word assertion, I believe, so why don't you rephrase it?
Did Mr. Spyro indicate to you on cross-examination did he attempt to imply that the prosecution had told you how to testify?
Essentially, it sounded like he asked if I was coached in my testimony.
But the prosecutors haven't actually told you what to testify to, have they?
No, ma'am.
You were asked several questions on cross-examination about the statement that you made that it didn't seem like Mr. Baldwin intended to commit the act. Do you recall those questions?
Yes.
Do you know what the crime that Mr. Baldwin
There's
was
the
charged
question.
with?
She's listening to me. What
I
act?
believe involuntary manslaughter.
What act were you talking about?
Is involuntary manslaughter an intentional homicide?
Objection calls for
No, ma'am.
legal.
Not to my recollection of the New Mexico State statute.
I would have objected to that question. It's a legal question. You shut up, Punch.
Are there criminal offenses that are intentional homicides?
Yes.
But that's not what Mr. Baldwin's charged with, right?
No.
No.
I agree. This guy's. Hold on. Why isn't it bringing up the chat that I want to bring up? This poor bastard.
Officer LaFleur,
Just doing
when
his
you
job.
are speaking to a witness, when you were in fact speaking to witnesses at the scene, you collected their driver's licenses, didn't you?
Yes.
What's
And
Baldwin doing? What's
What do you
Baldwin doing?
do when you collect the driver's license? Do you run it through a system?
I
Yes.
put it in our computer system, run it by driver's license in the state. It's easier than name and date of birth.
Is Defendant's Exhibit H, does that contain information about their driver's licenses?
Yes. It appeared that it was a page that showed each person's license being inputted. And
So I'm going to go ahead and show you what is page 3 of that. What do we call it? Is it a CAD report?
yes.
So let me back up for a moment. What does CAD stand for? Do you remember?
Computer animated drawing.
I don't know the exact,
Canadian dollars.
exactly what it stands for, no, but it's a reporting system or, that we use to dispatch,
The
dispatches us
criminal-
through and
association
So this
director.
is this a dispatch log?
Dispatch, okay.
yes.
Criminal act dispatch. Let's see if that's it.
I don't know. Yeah, thank you.
Boring. Cameraman seems to be passing out. Dude, can we get back to the witness? Oh, they're going up to the. Okay, fine. I see what they're doing now. Criminal Accede database says crash bandits. Oh, and I actually got a
Sorry, I know that's getting smaller and smaller, but I'm not sure what to do.
oh, and another one of my insiders says computer assisted dispatch, who also said about earlier on when they were talking about the treatment of Helena
Do you
Hutchins.
see,
We'll get to that in a second.
no, it's not quite there yet. At the top of the page, do you see number 16? And there's a 16 and then there's a parentheses.
Yes.
What does it say?
Posted speed limit and actual.
18 months, I
What
think,
does
is the maximum
posted speed
sentence.
limit and actual have to do with this incident?
I'm not too sure. It looks like the individual who ran it, their name, I don't know who that is.
Well, that's okay. Does this have anything to do with the incident involving Ms. Hutchins?
No,
So I want to take you down here to number 5, parentheses. What does that say?
says non-commercial class, code D.
The heck does that have to do with anything?
What is that person talking about? Does it have anything to do with the shooting of Ms. Hutchins?
Oh, this is so
No,
annoying.
that's the return. It came back for a driver's license, it appears.
That's the return that came back for a driver's license? Is that what you said?
That's what it appears like, yes.
Let's go down to number 10.
I can't
see
stand the
that?
practice of law.
Yes.
It's all
What does
a
that
question
say?
of bad
Accident
acting.
quantity,
Oh,
Keep
what does-
reading.
what does that have to do with anything?
3 withdrawal. It looks like it's going to try to say withdrawal.
Does that have anything to do with this incident?
Why it
No.
doesn't? Why would it be there? Oh my goodness! I don't even know what she's trying to prove.
And look, I want you to look down here at number 21. Do you see that?
Yes,
What does that say?
I don't know.
of alcohol or drugs.
Well, that might be relevant.
That you're aware of? Does that have anything to do with this incident?
Well, that
No.
might have. If he was on drugs.
Let's jump down to number 26. 6. What does that say?
Objection, relevance cumulative.
Dude, just now you decide to object? Hey, you let him get this. You let it get this
Go
far.
ahead, sir.
Says drinking and driving at 0.0.
Did you read it all?
Yeah, per se, I think that's what it's saying at the beginning. Dash drinking and driving at 0.0. I think the next line is the blood alcohol content, BAC.
Were you dispatched to a DWI?
No.
This is very patronizing now. Mr. Simpson, I'm confused.
Let's have a look at page 5.
This guy's like, I just wanted to
Do you
do
see up
my
here
job.
number 23?
23 is cut off on my screen.
Oops.
Yeah. Of alcohol or drugs.
Was this an incident that was related to alcohol or drugs?
Not that I'm aware.
Does she have to talk like that? Like we
Let's
know.
jump down here, if you would,
understand the
to
point she's
number
trying to
10.
make, I guess.
Do you see that?
Says accidental quantity 0 and then withdrawal.
Well, when there's good stuff to listen to.
Does that
my
have
big
anything to do with this incident?
Why, no, it doesn't. What are the odds that?
Why are we seeing that language?
Because it's a template that they probably just fill out all the
But,
blanks in.
The NCIC return gives our CAD. As you can see, it's all within the same 1/10 of a second. So it's generated by the computer system itself.
So I've now turned the page to page 6. Do you see 10 there where it says 10 parentheses?
Accidental quantity, zero withdrawal.
Is the word accident reflective of Ms. Hutchins being shot on accident?
Well, no, it's a different context. Now that you mention it.
No.
Oh, Mr. Lafleur, why was this document prepared this way? I don't know. So when you said that he didn't intentionally commit the act, your statement's worth nothing.
Is the word accident in that report? Does it appear anywhere where it's talking about what happened to Ms. Hutchins?
No, right here, it's just a bunch of returns.
What is a horseshoe? Are there any horse socks? Is anybody listening to me?
Thank you
she's
for your time, sir.
she's the grandmother from Happy Gilmore, from Billy Madison.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that I
Excuse
think,
next witness.
take it for what it's worth. I think that was just to undermine his
The
statement
state calls.
that he didn't commit the act intentionally.
We would now move to page 14 of the exhibit.
Come over here.
Objectionable paternalism, poor guy. Well, his day's done, and good for him. That was it. They needed the video. It's in. Lafleur. Lafleur was the name of the guy from Dodgeball. Nice try, Lafleur. Okay. Oh, and Bill Brown says there are horse socks. Bill, you know what I was watching last night? The Scottish guy who shaves down the hooves of lame cows and bulls. It's called the. I love the guy. I mean, I love his Scottish accent. I mean, if I were a man that was strictly attracted to accents, I would be attracted to Scottish men and women, or women and men. Okay, that was a joke in there. But you know who it is? The guy he pops the hooves and they have these massive infections, and it's just so relaxing.
Your Honor, the state calls Timoteo Benavides.
Timoteo Benavides. I don't know who it is. Let's see if we can get this real quick. The state charges $1.25, Bob. Okay. Okay.
Mr. Judge, raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear affirm under penalty of law?
Sorry, Major.
Sorry.
So what's going on?
Do you swear affirm under penalty of law that the testimony you'll give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, have a seat talking to the
Wait
mic.
until they post a screen grab of that and accuse this guy of being a white nationalist.
May I proceed?
I'm not raising my hand like that, but
Good afternoon, Mr. Benavides. Would you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
with pleasure.
My name's Timoteo Benavides.
And sir, on October 21st, 2021, how were you employed?
I was employed by the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office as a lieutenant.
Is he still
And
employed?
are you
by
still
them?
employed with the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department?
I am not.
Why not?
And why not?
I retired doing 20 years of law enforcement for Santa Fe County.
Oh, good for him. He looks
And
young.
what was your rank when you retired?
Lieutenant.
And on October 21st, 2021, were you working?
Yes, I was.
And what were your duties that day?
That day I was day shift commander, which entails taking care of Santa Fe County during the day and 7 deputies we had.
How large is Santa Fe County?
It's pretty big. It goes from the city limits of Espanola to all the way to I-40 down in Edgewood and to Pecos and then to the off-ramp to Cochiti.
Oh, there's a new lawyer.
You said you were commander that day. What does that mean? What
Allie
duties
McBeal
did
is
that
back
entail?
in the practice of law.
I'm pretty much in charge of the county on what happens and responsible for the deputies that are working.
On that day at approximately 1:48, did you receive a dispatch to a call?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
And
Why would they
what was
switch
that call for
attorneys?
service about?
The
Shooting
call
on a
of
movie
service
set.
was on a movie set for an accidental shooting.
Okay. And where was that located?
It was located
Something Creek.
at the Bonanza Creek Movie Ranch.
Bonanza Creek.
Okay. And is that in Santa Fe County?
It is in Santa Fe County,
Okay. In New Mexico?
in the state of New Mexico, yes.
And do you recall approximately what time you arrived?
I was dispatched about 1:50. I didn't arrive till almost I think it was like 2:20.
Why did it take you a while to arrive?
It was far away.
I was pretty much on the other side of the county when the dispatch call came in.
Now, when you arrived, do you recall what you observed?
No.
When I arrived, there was a security guard at the gate, and he told us that he was gonna drive us into the movie set where the incident happened.
Were other deputies already there when you arrived?
Yes.
Deputy LaFleur was already on scene from what I heard over the radio, and I had at the time Corporal Darrete was in front of me, literally in front of me when we got there.
Were there other first responders present when you arrived on scene?
Yes, there was. There was already medics on scene when I arrived.
Yeah, she
Were
really
you
does look
wearing
like
your
Ally
police
McBeal.
uniform?
I was in full uniform, displaying my badge of office at the time.
And were you equipped with a lapel camera?
Yes, I was.
Are you familiar, or were you familiar with how your lapel camera works?
Yes.
And how does it work?
As soon as I activated my lights and sirens, my lapel goes off right away, and it starts recording from as soon as I activated my lights and sirens.
And how long does your lapel camera record?
6 hours.
It records until I stop it or until it runs out of battery.
Well, okay, how much is it?
And how does your video that's captured on your lapel camera uploaded? How's it preserved? Do you know?
I upload it when I get back.
At the time it's uploaded, we, as deputies, we don't have no control how we show up to the sheriff's office and it downloads automatically from our, I take off my lapel, I put it in a docking station in my unit,
Nope.
and everything downloads into the sheriff's office room servers.
Okay. On October 21st, 2021, did your lapel camera capture what you observed when you arrived on scene at the
Why,
Bonanza
yes, it
Creek
did.
Ranch?
It's
Yes,
almost
it
like it did what I was instructing it to do.
And what did you do with your lapel camera after you left the scene?
When I completed my duties on that scene, I put it in my docking station, which is also a charger, and I proceeded to the sheriff's office so it could download.
Now, have you viewed your lapel camera video since October 21st, 2021?
Yes, I have.
And in fact, did you view a portion of it this morning before you testified?
Yes, I did.
And did I show you State's Exhibit number 5 earlier this morning?
I was
Yes, you did.
curious why they
And what
asked
was
questions that could make them a witness.
was,
Did I show this to you? How the heck?
Pretty much the beginning from when I activated my lights and sirens to the end.
What was it, the entire thing to the end, or was it part of it?
It was part of it. It was not the entire thing because I did stop it several times to talk to commanders and deputies, and then I reactivated it.
And how long is your entire lapel camera video?
I arrived on scene about 2:20, and I didn't leave till almost 8:30 that night.
So State's Exhibit 1 is just a portion of your lapel camera,
That is correct.
video?
Yes.
Okay. After you viewed it, did you notice if it's been modified or changed in any way?
It has not.
All of these questions just
Your
to
Honor, I would
admit.
move into evidence State's
there you
Exhibit
go.
number 5.
All of that just to
No
admit.
objection, Your Honor.
And there was no objection. Can't they just stipulate that they'll allow the video in? Okay. All right, let's watch the video now. And by the way, everyone should go Google Ally McBeal. She totally looks like Ally McBeal.
They said that they.
Let me pause it there. Is that your lapel camera video, Mr. Benavides?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to forward it. How long does it take you to drive? How long are we going to watch you driving?
27 minutes.
It's about 20 minutes.
So I'm going to fast forward a little bit here to about 17 minutes, or excuse me, 15 minutes.
Yeah, obviously there's going to be some audio on the dispatch that they're going to want to play.
Debbie en route to Bonanza Creek.
Hey, I got one shot in the chest. One shot in the chest, and one shot in the chest, and another shot in the stomach. So you have 2 victims up there? 2 victims.
Are you still driving?
I am still driving, yes.
Excuse me.
Now, I've fast forwarded to 15 minutes and 59 seconds. Have you arrived on scene yet?
Yes, I could see the
Oh, the church in the
makeshift
background.
church right in front of me.
I don't think it's a makeshift church.
We're gonna secure the film and all the crew members.
Why did you say you're going to secure the film and all the crew members?
Because it's a crime scene.
Pretty much common sense from, I'm not on scene yet, but I'm trying to picture everything that was going on. And maybe the film caught it, I don't know.
Can you describe for the members of the jury, when you're pulling up to this church, what does it look like? How many people are you actually seeing?
So this scene was probably the biggest scene I've been to. There was people everywhere. I had medics running in and out. From what I saw from the back of the church, there was medics going to their vehicles, grabbing items, and there was just people everywhere. As in people, I mean, I couldn't distinguish who it was. It was actors, it was film personnel, bystander. I didn't know, but there was a lot of people there.
Do you know if those people were people who worked on the set?
Some
Yes,
of them were, obviously.
You could distinguish them. They had a lot of sunblock on, a lot of hats, big hats for the sun. So that's pretty much how I noticed that. Okay. Cool. Thanks. I have like 200 people out here, so. Alrighty. Let's see if. Yes, I already called for them. All right.
It's amazing with the technology that we have that these are the best lapel cameras we can get. It's pretty amazing. I mean, the movie sets are totally cool. Why is it blurry? It shouldn't be blurry. It should be a fixed lens. Is this the look at the camera port? So if anybody didn't see this morning, this is
What's
virtually
happening at
the
this-
same
Excuse me, at this point.
lapel camera as the other guy.
So as soon as I walked into the makeshift church, Deputy LaFleur started to let me know what was happening and what was going on with the victims.
How would you describe this scene as soon as you walked into the church?
Hectic, chaotic.
The medics were doing a wonderful job. They had separated each other and they were working on the victims.
How many victims did you have?
2.
I saw 2 on the ground.
Okay.
Corporal, I need you to know who's in charge. Everybody stops what they're doing right now. This is a crime scene.
Why did you say this was a crime scene?
Because someone got shot.
Because we had 2 victims, Helena and Joel, fighting for their life on the ground. And it wasn't natural. This is a movie set. And it was now a crime scene. We had to figure out what happened.
Good answer.
So what directives are you giving the other deputies?
So I'm letting them know I let Corporal Aldaleta know to have whoever's in charge, have everybody stop what they're doing because there was no more filming. If they were, I did not know. And so we could try to control what we could. Everybody stops what they're doing, and I need the film secured by whoever's in charge of the.
Can I pull these guys down, get them the hell with the helicopter?
Yes, please.
Did you ask for anything else when you were out there speaking with those people?
Yes, I asked who was in charge to help me out, and then I asked Corporal Aldaleta to start taking pictures.
This guy knows what he's doing.
Did you ask for anything else?
Not that I recall.
She clearly wants him to say something that he's not remembering. So she's going to find another way to drop what she wants him to say and ask him another question. Did you notice any? Oh yeah, that it wasn't because.
I need pictures right away.
Yep, pictures, film.
Where's the props guy?
Where's
Why
the
did you ask for
props guy?
pictures?
I have my lapel on, which captures a lot, but the pictures would capture detailed that's on the floor that you can't really tell from my lapel.
And you just said that you asked for the props guy. Why did you ask for the props guy?
I work security for in the sheriff's office at movie sets. The props guy is the guy that does the little stuff with sound effects or whatever. But I asked for the props guy because I needed to find out where the gun was.
Why was it important to find out where the gun was?
Because I didn't need the gun going off or getting used again on somebody else.
Okay. And did you find the gun?
I had somebody. Yes, I did find the gun.
Okay. Where did you find the gun?
Hannah Gutierrez had the gun walking out of the movie set.
And who did you understand Hannah Gutierrez to be?
She was the armor.
Props guy out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, no, you have a job? We need to make sure that they.
Yes, they're taking care of business.
Yes.
What else do you need there, Chief?
What's my rating? It's just here. There, thank you.
There's the gun. Where is it? Got the clear gun.
Where is it?
Where are you going at this point?
I'm being directed by a gentleman, I assume who is a person in charge, to look for the gun.
And did you find it?
Yes.
I did not find it there.
Where did you find it?
There's one there and there's one there. That's none of them. That's not. Okay.
They're really keeping the camera on Alec
I
Baldwin.
know where it is.
That's Michael Hull, the assistant director, right there in the blue shirt.
What is it that you are pointing at with this gentleman here?
There was guns laid in the open on the cart, on this gray cart.
Real guns. I mean, they're called prop
I'm
guns.
going to
but
show
they're real
you
guns.
what's been marked as State's Exhibits number 7 and number 8. May I approach, Your Honor?
One of my hairs. No objection, he says.
Yes, Your Honor. I would move into evidence 7 and 8, but I'll publish it in a second. I'm going to finish the video. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Where are you going now?
Trying to look for the armor.
He has movie experience.
You're in charge,
he knows
man.
what he's doing.
I need to know where the gun's at right now.
Armor, I need to know where the guns are at.
Is face masks. It's COVID, right? You're dealing with life and death when someone's been shot. You better keep your face mask on and cause problems communicating. You don't want to be without a mask in the desert sun.
How do I know this is a gun?
That's the gun.
Okay.
Let's see this.
Who is that?
Who are those people?
That is Hannah Gutierrez.
And who is she?
She's the armor on set.
That's Hannah Gutierrez?
And did you obtain anything from her?
Yes, I did. I obtained a revolver she was carrying.
And what did you understand that revolver to be?
to be the revolver that shot the projectile into these two victims.
May I have a minute, Your Honor, to bring up Exhibit 6?
Oh boy. So, this guy knew exactly what to do right away. If he's worked on the set before, so knows that prop guns are real guns. Comes across an open table of real guns just sitting out there for everybody to look at, play with. Hot desert sun. Looking for the gun that shot the projectile. While these buffoons are running around, but they're administering first aid to Helena Hutchins, and they're all wearing face masks. And it's like, there's no question that impedes
All right.
effective communication.
State's Exhibit 6 is going to be handed to you, Mr. Benavides.
So go on. What is that? Is that the gun? We brought so there's pliers.
If
Handle
you could
with care.
Put on some gloves and just open it and let us know if you recognize what's in State's Exhibit
Don't
6.
point it at anybody.
Counsel? Yes, sir. I have a question from one of the witnesses that came out.
Hey, Brian, can you come here for a second, please?
Brian, come here. I gotta tell you something, Brian.
Ms. Johnson, make note of where you ended.
We need to fix this. The audio is not in sync with the video.
Mr. Benavides, now that you're wearing rubber gloves. God damn, tickle in my throat. The killer is in the room. Let's see, we got donations here. Has Alec Baldwin ever shown remorse? Side note, Ashley Merchants is one of the Young Thugs attorneys in Atlanta. Mind blown. No, I thought she was attorney Balls of Steel, who got held in contempt for calling out the corruption. I didn't know if she was one of Young Thug's attorneys, but would surprise me. Well, how could she be one of Young Thug's attorneys and then the attorney for Young Thug? Someone check me on that. I thought that Ashley Merchant was only Steele's attorney. I didn't know if she had anything to do with Young Thug. All right. Now they're going to pull out the gun. Ooh, tell them where they found it. While we do that, trust me to bring it back up in a second, but let me, I'll hear it when it comes back up. But because it must be done. Where is the Ali McBeal? This prosecutor, she is, there's jokes I have. She put the cute back in prosecutor. But she's Ali McBeal. There's no question about that. Everyone look at Ali McBeal and let's bring back the prosecutor. If I can find it right here. Bada bing, bada bing. Remember Ali McBeal? And that's Ali McBeal right there. What is Ali McBeal? Where is she today? How old is she now? Random thoughts. How old do we think Ali McBeal is? Ali McBeal today. Her name, Callista Flockhart. Oh my gosh, am I good? Why do I know that? You imagine the Callista Flockhart, American actress, Ali McBeal. Please don't tell me that she's 59 years old. Okay, fine. And let me just see if she's gotten political. Right wing, wrong character. No, that's not right. Callista Flockhart, best known for portraying Ali McBeal. Okay, I guess. Okay, fine. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's like the first time they've ever had a trial where they can't really get the technical electronic stuff to work well. Let me go into the regular chats here and see what's going on. Alex Jones, 1.5 billion seems fair. She married Han Solo. Alex Jones, okay. I heard it through a grapevine. Okay. In Viva Barnes Law.locals. She's 59, Bill Brown. She says, can you spell that name? Callista Flockhart? C-A-L-I-S-T-A L-I-S-T-A, Flock Hart, no E, F-L-O-C-K-H-A-R-T. Okay. Thanks. Look at Alec Baldwin. Oh, and while we're on the subject of Alec
Correct me
Baldwin.
if I'm misstating, the video does not have the time of day on it, so they're going to elicit that from the witness, okay?
Okay. The next lookalike. Okay, so hold on. While we do that, let me just, while we do that, Alec Baldwin is also the lead singer from Blink-182. Okay. Coming back. Do you recall what time it was when you arrived on scene?
It was 2:20, 2:30.
Do you have a specific recollection of the time or not?
No,
I do not.
but it was about
Would
2:20 or 2:30.
Reviewing the CAD refresher memory?
Yes, it would.
May I approach, Your Honor? I'm going to show you what's been marked as defendants and admitted DX8T.
For the record, I think it's now H.
Stop that.
Do you recognize that?
Yes, it's a dispatch log.
Well, if you could review it and let us know if your memory is refreshed after you review it, and I'll take that document back from you.
Yes.
Your memory's refreshed?
Yes.
All right, if I can take that back. What time did you arrive on scene?
2:20.
All right, and would your lapel camera video be at 2:20, start like at 2:20 when you arrive on scene?
It started when I first activated my lights and sirens. So when I was dispatched at 1:49.
Right, but when you arrive on scene, would it be 2:20 in the afternoon?
Yes, it would be.
Okay, so even though we can't see the actual time on your lapel cam, is this your lapel cam?
Yes, it is.
And would this
Jeez
accurately
Louise.
reflect what you are seeing around 2:20 or so in the afternoon?
Yes, it is.
There's a chat up in our Rumble community. It says, Google blank cartridge. It's obvious what they look like. You could have easily checked. Plus, you wouldn't shoot blanks at a camera. It could still damage it. You're right about that.
And so you had testified earlier that this woman with the multicolored hair was the armorer and she gave you the gun.
Yes.
If you could look at State's Exhibit 6 and I'll ask you if you recognize what's in the box.
Okay.
I think what's in the box, people? Take the box. The box. A red snapper. Very tasty. I'm guessing it's a gun in the box. If I had to guess. Dramatic zoom.
Do you recognize State's Exhibit 6?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Gun.
What is it?
It is the gun that Hannah Gutierrez, the armorer, handed to me.
Now, what did you do with this gun once she handed it to you?
I took custody of it from her and I walked it over to the passenger side of my unit, my marked sheriff's unit.
What did you do with it once you walked over
Put it
to
in a
Mark
bag.
Sheriff's
Gave it a
unit?
number.
I put it in the front seat and I locked it.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 13.
Maybe he should pull a binger and like point the gun at Alec Baldwin. This is the gun right here.
I'm losing track a little. So you just entered.
Why is there a picture
I
of a
haven't
SIG in the
tendered
box?
6 because we have other witnesses.
I think it's
Okay,
that's probably
have
just a
7,
standard
and I
gun
thought you had
box.
7 and 8 that you
7
were
and
gonna.
8, yes, sir. Haven't published yet.
Okay, but, okay, those were admitted. Now you're doing 13.
13.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Oh yeah.
Do you recognize what's on the screen there, Mr. Benavides?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It is a gun that's in front of me and this is the gun that the armorer Hannah Gutierrez handed me.
You testified that you put it in the front seat of your patrol vehicle.
Yes, I did.
Why did you put it there?
To keep
It
it
was
safe.
the most secure spot that I had control over at the time.
This guy knows how to do
And-
his job.
What did you do to ensure that this gun was secured?
Lock the car door.
I locked I locked my unit, and nobody entered it except for me because I'm the only one with the key.
Where was State's Exhibit number 13 taken? Where was this gun when this photo was taken?
From the passenger side of my unit.
Okay. Why did you not stick it in an evidence bag?
Because it was evidence.
It was so fluid, and the scene was so active. I put it there. It was secure there. That's where it stayed.
Did you do anything with this gun? Open the cylinder, or anything at all once you received it from Ms. Gutierrez?
Yes, as soon as I got to my unit, I opened up the cylinder and I made it safe for myself and whoever else was going to handle it.
And when you say you made it safe, what do you mean by that?
I opened up the cylinder on this wheel gun and I ran the wheel to make sure there was no rounds in it.
And
Oh,
were
like,
there
you mean
any rounds
exactly
in
like,
it?
There was no rounds in
like
it.
what Alex should have done? Alec? Bada
Did
bing,
you
bada
do
boom.
anything else to the gun?
I did not.
To your knowledge, did anybody else have access to this gun once you put it in your patrol vehicle?
No.
So what is the next thing you did after you secured the gun in your patrol car?
What I remember is I was talking to the armor, Hannah. I put her in back of my unit and I told her she wasn't under arrest. I kept the door open because the detectives needed to speak to her.
Now, did anybody have access to the front part of your patrol car?
They did not.
Okay.
While this gun was in your possession, did you do anything, or to your knowledge, did anybody else touch it or do anything to it?
No.
Does Exhibit 13 accurately reflect the condition of the gun when it was handed to you?
Yes, it is.
All these questions are this is so
Did you
flipping
secure
boring,
any
people.
other items of evidence?
I did. I secured 2 boxes of ammunition.
And where did you
How many
find
live
those?
rounds?
They were on a gray cart, which Hannah directed me to, that they were on a gray cart that were used for this gun.
All right, now
All
they're
right,
going to get
let's
into the
go
live
to
rounds.
State's Exhibit 7, which has already been admitted.
It's the box. Show us the box.
All right, you may call those.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There's a dog sniffing my leg. What
Do you
did
recognize that?
Oh, yes, I do. That's what I saw when she brought me to it.
Yes, it is the gray cart that Hannah directed that the ammunition was on.
And where was that cart when you were directed to it?
My first Lapel video where that gentleman directed me, walked me over, and he said none of these guns were used. This was the cart that he was talking about.
Okay. And where was this photo taken? Where was the cart when this photo was taken?
It looks like it was taken in front of my unit, in front of my in-car camera.
So was that cart moved from where you initially saw it to in front of your car?
Yes, it was.
Why?
Hannah had, she directed that the ammunition was there. So there was a gentleman that offers his services because I was dealing with Hannah, and I watched him bring the cart from where it was to me.
Does State's Exhibit 7 accurately represent the cart in the condition that you saw it when you first?
Right. Great question.
were
Yes,
directed
yes,
to
it does.
Yes, it is.
How many live rounds were
And
on
why
that
did you move it to the front of your patrol car?
to keep better control over
It
it?
was evidence. Hannah said that ammunition was on it used in the church.
Is there another reason why you moved it to the front of your patrol car?
To keep an eye on it, to make sure nothing was taken, nothing was put in.
Was anything capturing what would happen if anybody got close to this cart?
To where it is right now, they would have captured from my in-car camera.
So do you have a dash camera?
Yes, a dash camera, yes.
So was the dash camera running and filming this cart as it's sitting there in front of your patrol car?
Yes, it
All right,
was.
this guy's very, very
To your
good.
knowledge, did anybody come over to this cart and remove any items?
Yes, Alec Baldwin came up and he took things off.
No,
and then
not
he
when
hid
it
them.
was sitting there, no.
I'm joking, everybody. What do you want?
Why not collect the items instead of moving, or why not collect the items before you moved it?
I'm in a patrol car. I'm not in a van or anything that would fit the whole cart in a hole to secure it.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 8, which has already been admitted. May I publish on it?
Yeah.
Is that a close-up of the cart?
Yes, it is.
What are we looking at? What was on the cart? What did you observe?
Loose ammunition, gun belts, a gun, various other items.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 9. Counsel, did you want to see it?
No objection.
May I, Your Honor, I move into evidence State's Exhibit 9.
Yes.
May I publish?
Yes.
Do you recognize that? It's State's Exhibit 9.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It is a wheel gun.
Is there anything else that you see there?
There's car keys, there's loose ammunition.
Okay. And is this on the cart that we just saw?
Yes, it is.
And again, what did you do to preserve this evidence?
Like I said, I kept it in front of my unit for my dash cam to capture if it got tampered with.
Now, was there a perimeter established on this scene?
Yes, we did. We did a perimeter of yellow crime scene tape, and we tried to preserve everything that was in the church and everything that was out as in film.
Is that what we saw, the yellow tape around the cart?
Yes, it is.
And
This is your chance to get 2 top-of-the-line trimmers on the low. I was browsing the Manscaped website and something caught my eye. This is the Beard and Balls bundle. Let's check it out. Looks like it has the beard hedger. No surprise. Right away, it feels perfect for shaping my beard. It just feels professional. It's waterproof, has a titanium-coated stainless.
Crime scene tech, Marissa Popple.
you testified that you observed some rounds. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 10.
No objection, Your Honor.
May I publish on?
Yes.
I move into evidence State's Exhibit 10.
Yes, you may publish.
Do you recognize those 2 rounds that we see there?
Yes,
How do you recognize them?
they were on the cart.
Did you touch them in any way or remove them from the cart?
I did not.
Now, you told us you also seized some boxes of ammunition.
Yes, I did.
And where did you take those from?
I took those physically from the cart.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 11 and 12.
Can you imagine how they're taking an entire day on 2 witnesses?
Your Honor, the
To
state
admit-
will move into evidence State's Exhibits 11 and 12.
What everyone accepts as admitting into evidence in any event. All right. How many live rounds
What
were
are
on
we
it? Can we
seeing
get
here
to
on
this?
State's Exhibit 11?
That is the front driver's seat of my marked sheriff's unit, and there are 2 white boxes on my
Okay,
seat.
that's ammunition. How many live rounds?
And where did you get those boxes from?
I physically took them from the cart, from the gray cart.
Why did you take those from the gray cart?
Those were the
Evidence.
2 boxes that Hannah
Preservation.
Gutierrez, the armor, told me that were used.
Did you see what was inside those boxes?
I opened it and looked.
I assume there were bullets.
Why remove just those boxes and not the other stuff on the cart?
Okay, interesting.
The armor, Hannah she pointed those out, and those were the ammunition used for the gun.
Let me show you State's Exhibit number 12. Your Honor, I move into evidence State's Exhibit 12 and ask to publish.
Yes.
What is State's Exhibit 12, Mr. Benavides?
They are a close-up of the two white boxes.
And what kind of rounds are those?
Well, they're identified
Those rounds
as
say
dummies.
45 long Colt dummies.
They say, are they or were they though?
Did you then turn these over to someone else, these boxes of ammunition?
Yes.
And who did you turn them over to?
Forensics.
The crime scene tech, Marissa Popple.
Let's go back to your lapel cam. You had testified earlier that you had placed Ms. Gutierrez in your vehicle. What happened to Ms. Gutierrez after we're seeing her here at 20 minutes and 8 seconds?
From this point, I took custody of the gun and we walked over to my marked sheriff unit.
They've opened this up for a good cross to exonerate Baldwin. They're going to ask this guy how many live rounds were in that box of ammunition. I'll shut up in a second.
I'm sorry, let me pause it there. This was the wrong.
Okay. They're going to ask him how many live rounds were in that box of round marked dummies. And if there's one, they're going to say, how the heck is Alec Baldwin supposed to be responsible for that? Bottom line, Baldwin pointed the gun and clearly pulled the trigger.
They said 2. Now.
Oh, I thought there was like a remix.
Where are they at?
What are you being directed to at this point?
I don't remember. I couldn't really hear her.
Okay, let's go back. And I apologize, it looks like the audio is a little behind the video.
Get on there. Get on there.
What were you referring to when you said, where are they at?
She was telling me about the rounds.
And where are you headed at this point at 20 minutes and 16 seconds?
That is my unit that I'm looking at right in front of me.
That's Hannah Gutierrez Reed with the purple and yellow hair? She looked totally different when she was sentenced.
Is that when you secured the gun in your vehicle?
That is the front of my unit on the passenger side. Yes, it is.
Are they okay?
It's under video. We need more units out here.
And have been decided. Oh my God.
It's obviously terrible. You imagine the horror of that day is now a memory of their.
What is happening right now?
Freaking out is what's happening.
There was a helicopter just landed. Hannah's there on my right-hand side, and I'm watching the guy on the cart.
Okay. Is somebody bringing the cart to you at this point?
Yes, it was a gentleman. I didn't get his name, or I don't remember his name. That was bringing the cart.
Your Honor, did you want us to approach?
I'll leave the rounds here.
Okay,
Yeah, the rounds here.
okay, now, so this is the one I'm pretty sure I wrote. This is that's the one. And okay. Sorry.
You're okay.
Sorry.
Just relax. Just relax.
So scared.
Zero, just relax.
But it's the box that I got out of.
Okay, you right there. You right there, okay? Relax. I just need you to.
What's happening right here?
Absolute panic attack, meltdown.
Hannah, as you
Someone
can
who-
see, she's
Had real
upset,
bullets?
visibly upset, and she's showing me where the rounds are that were used.
And was it the same rounds that you put in your vehicle?
Yes, it is.
So they're establishing a chain of custody of that box. So when it gets to the live, they're going to get to the live rounds in it, and that's going to help Baldwin.
Okay, take deep breaths and relax. Can somebody get water for her?
I know everybody hates her, but I still feel bad for her.
The helicopter's here for her. Yep, the helicopter's here for her.
Where the fuck are these interviews? Is she okay?
She's not okay.
What other involvement did you have in this investigation, Mr. Benavides?
That was pretty much it.
That's all the involvement was, just trying to control the scene and taking care of Hannah and taking care of the evidence.
How long were you out there at the Bonanza Creek Ranch?
8 hours.
I didn't leave until about 8:30 that night, so about 6 hours.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Wow. I mean, it's just so. Are they? I mean, is he not going to be able to tell whether or not there were live rounds in the box? Might not be doing this for the rest of the day, people. Oh, that dog is so flipping annoying. Pick a room. Holy cow! Scratched at the door. It's not even my house. I can't have a dog scratching at the door. What do you want? What do you want? Let me see what's going on in the chat over here. So what is the QAnon conspiracy that's going on with this? I see it in the chat, and I don't want to. I'm not actually asking to make fun. What is the Q? I know that apparently Helena Hutchins was directing a movie on human trafficking, and Baldwin knew it, but I don't believe any of this was done on purpose. Doesn't mean there's not a crime here. But what is the QAnon conspiracy? Here, let's see. Am I going to do it? I'm going to do it here. Let's see what happens. Come here. Get it. Get it.
Mr. Benavides, do you know where the gun was from the time of the shooting of Ms. Hutchins and Mr. Souza to the time that it was given to you by Ms. Gutierrez?
I do not.
Oh God. Yeah,
And
say hi. Say hi.
do you know who handled that gun from the time of after the shooting to the time that it was given to you?
I do not, other than Hannah handing it to me.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
You just had one. Can we? Okay, let's see here. The dog is driving me nuts. I've given her a puck of meat. Still got a cough here. Excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Benavides, and you can take those gloves off if you want to keep them on.
I'll keep them on. Sorry, that's. While we're here, like, who needs a prostate checkup?
May I, Your Honor?
All right, may you? I don't know.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You know, when you
Everything
get
is
to
gonna be
the
about
scene,
pinning blame
you can
on
hear
Hannah.
yourself yelling in the lapel, "Where's the prop person?" Right?
Correct.
And when you get to the cart that we looked at, I think it's State's Exhibit 7, and if we could publish that when we can in a moment. But fair to say that the cart was sort of disorderly, right?
Oh, it was a mess.
See, that helps.
And
Baldwin.
you don't know whether anybody moved anything before you got there, right?
I do not.
It's
Okay.
going to help Baldwin.
And you didn't see Sarah Zachary, the prop master, there, correct?
I don't even know who that is.
No, I don't know who that is.
And so
I said,
when
I
you
could
first get to
script all of
the
this.
prop cart, you eventually sort of leave it and go back to going to deal with other things,
Yeah,
right?
you have no idea what happened to it when you were gone, right?
Well, the gentleman that was there, he told me that the gun wasn't there. There was a lot of guns on that. There was a couple of guns on that cart, but he told me I have to take him for his word because I wasn't there. He told me that the gun used in the church was not there.
Right, but there was, and you anticipated, there were other guns on that.
That is correct.
Okay. And you left those firearms and you left them there and you went to do what you did next, right?
Correct.
Okay. And, in a typical homicide scene, right, you probably wouldn't be walking away from all sorts of, firearms, but this was a movie set,
Well,
right?
no, but you
That
need
is
to do
correct.
what you need to do.
And an empty prop gun without live ammunition isn't going to hurt anybody, fair?
I do not know, but
Objection mischaracterizes the evidence.
I mean, other than if you drop the empty gun on your toe or something, an empty gun.
Oh, here we go.
An empty gun isn't going to hurt anybody, true?
a complete, yeah, of course.
Right, so, I think we fixed it.
An empty gun's not going to hurt anybody. Yeah, but you never know if it's empty.
And then you go back to the armorer and she hands you the firearm, right?
Yes.
Yes, they direct me to the armor because I didn't know who the armorer was, and they directed me to her, and I asked her, "Is this the gun?" And she said yes.
And I can see you're wearing gloves as you're taking out the exhibit today. Right, you've got purple gloves on?
What do you
Okay, I don't think you have to keep them on, by the way.
I didn't know if you wanted to see the gun or not.
I don't have to see it right now.
Don't point
But
that
the
thing
reason
at me.
I'm asking this is, and I don't think you talked about this.
Look
in
at
direct,
Baldwin's
but
face.
The day you took the gun, you weren't wearing gloves, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And but you were sort of careful when you took it, and you sort of you took it without touching the trigger. So if somebody wanted to swab the trigger for DNA, they still could. Fair?
The way I handled it was trying to be as safe as possible because I didn't have a holster for it. So I was trying to hold it so I didn't pull the trigger because I didn't know if it was empty or loaded or not.
And because you handled it that way, also somebody could have swabbed the trigger for DNA, right?
I guess so, yes.
Do you know if law enforcement ever swabbed the trigger for DNA?
No,
I
because
have
we
no
know that
idea.
Baldwin pulled the freaking trigger.
So
These are all irrelevant questions.
there was a question posed to you about, the prop gun, when you got it, was empty, fair?
Yes, when I cleared it at my unit, it was empty.
But you don't know what happened exactly to the ammo that was in it at the time of the incident, right?
No, I do not.
And somebody told you that Dave, the first assistant director, head of safety, had the rounds, right?
Objection assumes facts not in evidence.
He's asking him.
It's just a question. Do you know that?
I don't know who Dave is. I don't remember any of their names to this date,
Okay.
other than the victims.
Well, do you remember somebody telling you that the rounds were back at the cart?
I believe Hannah was talking to somebody and they directed it to that they were on the cart.
And was that a male?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. And you don't know as you sit here today whether that was Dave Hall's head of safety at the set?
Yeah, I don't remember. No.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm going to refresh you in a moment on that, but while I'm doing that, I'm just going to move on for a second, which is the next time you see the cart, right? It's being brought to you in a different location, right? The cart gets moved.
Yes,
Yeah.
from the first time I saw it, where that gentleman directed me to it, and he said that the gun used wasn't there until the gentleman brought it to me. Yes.
And you've said that ideally that's not how it would have gone down, right?
No, not at all. But I was trying to improvise as much as I could.
Okay. There were eventually, when you get the prop cart back, the sort of third viewing of the prop cart, there was ammunition on top of the cart, fair?
Yes, and that's what I saw when I first saw it.
And you saw it again when the cart came back, right?
Correct.
And at one point, you actually sort of reached down and touched some of the ammunition, true?
I believe I picked him up and put him down. I didn't know if they were live. I didn't know anything. So,
And another civilian came over and picked one up and showed you one was this and one was that, right?
yeah, he explained real quick, which it didn't, register too much to me, but he was trying to instruct me what to look for, I guess.
And if I could just show the witness, I assume no objection to states 26. Okay. If I could offer, I don't know how you want me to do this. If I could offer states 26, or should I make it insensitive?
Your Honor, we have no objection to admitting our own exhibit, so thank you.
Great. So I'll admit states 26.
States 22.
26, Your Honor. You see that on your screen, sir?
Yes, I do.
And if you look sort of in the middle section, the 2 and 2, the 2 and the 2.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Can you tell which ones are dummies and lives by looking at them?
I do not.
No questions.
We can take that down. Where was the backup?
Even the law enforcement can't tell the difference between dummies.
You're talking about a lot in direct about how, this happens and that happens. And I'm just sort of curious, where was backup?
Backup is in.
Listen, reinforcements, sir, so that you didn't have to try to manage all of this.
So that day I had 7 deputies, including myself, on duty here in Santa Fe County. I had Deputy LaFleur was a swing shift deputy, so he was coming into work. I believe he lives somewhere in Albuquerque, and he was coming into work when the call came in. And it was myself and the corporal who were available at the time. So there was only 3 of us, and the rest were northern part of the county and the eastern part of the county and the southern part of the county.
And you called backups for the state police, right?
I did.
And they, that request for backup was denied by supervisors, correct?
As if I remember correctly, yes. Or they didn't have. I don't remember if they said they didn't have enough, or they didn't have availability, or the supervisor just said no.
Didn't the supervisor say that they believed this would likely be unfounded and it was probably an accident?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I mean,
Hearsay
calls for
facts, not in
speculation,
evidence.
legal determination.
It's a proper question, obviously, because I'm asking why the backup didn't come and if he knows that.
Well, that's strike that question and don't consider it, jury. Well, that was one hell of a loaded question. Let me just go back and see if we can hear that again. Right.
Refresh you in a moment on that, but while I'm doing that, I'm just going to move on for a second, which is the next time you see the cart, right? It's being brought to you in a different location, right? The cart gets to be unfounded and it was probably an accident.
Objection, Your Honor, here.
Okay, that's
Ones are dummies in lives by looking at them?
I do not.
No, I went too far back.
Albuquerque, and he was coming into work.
Okay, so we're still on the sidebar, so let's try.
Swap the trigger for DNA, they still could. Fair? Time you see the cart, right? It's being
Know anything? So.
And another civilian came over and picked one.
Okay, so what was that question that he asked? Totally loaded.
We can take that down. Denied by supervisors, correct?
As if I remember correctly,
Okay,
yes.
Okay, they're coming back. It was an extremely loaded question. The reason why nobody was coming to this because it wasn't a crime scene. Nobody needed to come
And he
to
can
this.
rephrase. Thank you.
Sure, rephrase it into a legitimate.
Thank you.
When I say strike, that means disregard the question and the answer. Thank you.
Yeah, disregarded. They heard it
You called for the state police and they didn't come, right?
Yes.
right away. Dramatic sin.
And that would have been your supervisor's call, not yours, correct?
My supervisor? No.
I'm asking.
No.
Whether or not that request went to the states.
No.
That wouldn't have been your supervisor's call?
That wouldn't have been my supervisor's call. No.
Who's
Did you
calling
make that call direct?
I asked dispatch to talk to state police to see if they could send people to help me with the scene.
The perimeter that you talked about did not include the prop truck, correct?
Yeah, I didn't know what any of that was. I was just trying to take care of what happened in the church.
Right. So, but just so that then it's clear for the members of the jury, you later learned that that cart that we're looking at rolls up and goes into a prop truck that housed the rest of the firearms and ammunition. Right?
Objection, speculation.
If you know.
I did not know that. I did not.
No, I know you did. I know you're saying you didn't know that then. I'm saying you did become aware later that there was a prop truck, right?
Objection, hearsay, and speculation.
I think that's the answer. Didn't you just ask that question?
I can just move on to another if he doesn't know. Okay. But fair to say law enforcement wanted to find the origin of the bullet that struck Miss Hutchins, right?
Oh, yes.
We
found
my
it.
personal involvement was just taking care of the evidence, and I don't know what happened after that.
Well, you collected those white boxes, right? Those
Yes.
2 white generic boxes.
He's
didn't
gonna
you?
he's
exactly.
he's
Okay.
gonna ask a
So,
question
I mean,
that he
you
shouldn't
wanted
ask.
to, as I think you testified direct, find the source of the ammunition, correct?
Yes, whatever Hannah directed me to, yes.
And you wanted to talk to Hannah about this, correct?
I kept her for the detectives, yes.
She said, "Oh my God, fuck, I'm so sorry."
I did hear that on my lapel, yes.
Okay. Everyone's been yelling at her,
I did hear that in my lapel,
and you placed her in the police car, right?
in the back of
Right
my
now, defense is
patrol
throwing
car, yes.
Hannah
Right.
Gutierrez under the bus,
Nobody
obviously.
placed Mr. Baldwin in a police car, correct?
Objection, relevance.
Well, just that's overruled. Not that I know.
Correct.
Now, when you're at the scene talking to witnesses, which you can hear yourself doing on that lapel, you're letting witnesses give you information. Fair?
Yes.
You're not, trying to put words in their mouth, right?
No.
You're not cutting them off, right?
I probably did some of them, but I try to listen to them, yes.
Well, you're trying to look at the facts and circumstances and trying to figure out whether or not a crime occurred or whether this was an accident. Fair?
All I was trying to do was preserve the evidence for the detectives. That's all I was trying to do.
And you understood that the detectives were trying to rule out that it was a crime, correct?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled. He can ask if he understood that or not.
You understood from meeting with the detectives that they were trying to figure out and rule out if this was a crime.
Well, that's our main function, is to see if there was a crime committed
There was
or
a
not.
crime,
So you agree with me,
allegedly,
right?
and he's charged, and we're at trial for it. What the hell's your
That's our
defense?
main function as law enforcement, yes.
Okay. You don't know how the live bullet got on the movie set?
I do not.
You don't know why the armor loaded into the prop gun. She didn't tell you that.
No, I do not.
And you don't know why the first AD failed to detect it.
The what?
The first assistant director, that guy Dave.
Oh, I do not. I don't.
Is it David
Okay.
Hall or
And
Michael
you still work for the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office?
Do I still work?
Hall?
No, I'm retired.
You've retired. Okay. I have nothing further for this witness.
No. You got nothing out of him.
All right, thank you.
I don't even think you successfully undermined.
Redirect.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
This is so boring. And it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. More interesting, I should say. I mean, get to how many live rounds there were in those ammunition boxes. What's Alec Baldwin doing? Is he talking to his pen? Hello, Mr. Penn. Ooh, I didn't notice that. You're made in China? Huh. Never knew that. I wonder how many other pens are made in China. Excuse me, sir. Do you know how many pens are made in China? Okay, back to the trial. Hold on, I hear someone's whispering.
Mr. Benavides, you were shown State's Exhibit 26 on cross-examination.
There we go.
Do you know where those rounds that we see on 26 came from?
I do not.
Ooh, that's not the right answer. That wasn't what you were looking for.
You
Ally McField, how do you
testified
ask
on
that question?
cross-examination that this cart was disorderly, I believe is what you said. It was a mess.
Yeah,
Why are you bringing that back
Was
up?
that cart in a place where it was visible to everybody who worked on that
Yes,
set?
why are you asking him
Suggestion
this?
calls for speculation.
No, but let him answer it. It's going to
What
show that
was-
it's Anthony
I'll
Terrace's
rephrase, Your
fault.
Honor. Was it in a visible place?
Objection, vague, unclear.
Why don't you describe where you saw it?
Why don't you just let him answer?
I believe it was next to a tent, and there was people all around it.
Why is she getting him to say this again? This is going to put the blame on Hannah, not on
Now,
Alec.
you were asked a question about leaving the cart, this prop cart, unattended. Did you leave it unattended where anybody would come and be able to remove and take things off it?
When I took custody, when I saw the gentleman bringing it
Yes,
to
sir.
front of my unit, it
Yes, sir.
stayed right there, and nobody messed with it. No.
Now, you were shown photos of the, let me show you State's Exhibit number 7, if I may.
The prosecutor's got an interesting accent, and I can't figure out what it is. Yeah.
Showing you State's Exhibit number 9. Did you have any reason to believe that was a fake gun?
Did you have any reason to believe that was a fake gun?
It was a movie set. I did not know if it was fake or real.
How about State's Exhibit number 6 that you have in front of you? When you took that into custody, did you have any reason to believe that that was not a real gun?
No.
See, the messiness of the cart works in favor of Baldwin, not against him. The fact that he can't.
Did you have any involvement in this prop truck that you were asked about?
What does that mean? He just described it.
No, at the time I didn't know anything about a prop truck.
Why did you place Ms. Gutierrez in the back of your police car?
She was the main person that was handling the firearm. And common sense told me that detectives wanted to speak to her.
Were you asked about where to place Mr. Baldwin?
No, I believe Deputy LaFleur asked me, but there was so many witnesses on his side. I just told him to keep him separated from everybody and everybody from each other as much as possible.
Now, is the reason he was not placed in a police car because he wasn't a suspect?
No, it's because he was Alex freaking Baldwin.
At the time, I don't remember if somebody told. At the time, I don't remember if somebody told me he was handling the gun. I don't remember. So no.
Alec Baldwin. You don't.
So
put
he
him
wasn't
back
placed in a
the
police
truck.
car just because
Objection.
there were other reasons?
She's not asked the question yet. So
She
I'll
hasn't
rephrase,
asked-
Your Honor.
She hasn't asked her question yet.
Now, Mr. Spiro asked you, you didn't place Mr. Baldwin in a police car, but you placed Hannah. Is it because Mr. Baldwin
Objection.
was different from Hannah, or was
Objection.
it other
Leading the
reasons?
witness.
It was other reasons. Like I said, Deputy LaFleur had a lot of people on his side of the movie set. So keeping one person in a police car, you got to watch them, and then you got to watch everybody else. So he was able to watch everybody all at once.
May I have a moment here?
Oh, okay. Well, this is not going where I think she wanted it to be going.
excused. All right, we're going to take our bathroom break. We'll be back at 3:15. Please don't talk among yourselves or anyone else about the evidence
15 is
received
20
from
minutes.
court. We are in recess.
Sorry. All right. Not that I'm not thoroughly interested in this trial. I'll be listening to it, but I'm going to be listening to it while I jog because this is boring. I don't know what they're going to have with this guy afterwards. They're getting the gun into evidence. They're getting the lapel cameras into evidence. And the prosecutor in redirect has now given the guy, allowed him to highlight the fact that prop cart thing was in disarray, and that falls on Hannah, not on Alec. It's not going to change anything as far as the merits go. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring this screen out. We're going to get ready to wind this down because I'm not going to watch the rest of this, but I've been playing with my hair all day today. And I want to say that I've been doing it by accident or subconsciously. but I have. Well, I sort of have, but haven't. This is the funniest flipping thing you will see all day. That is Maxine Waters.
They've
Hold on a second. I hear something. I hear something. Ugh, okay, the long, whatever it is, they're running an ad here. All right, this is the video that I want to show you because it's flipping hilarious. I am very much introspective and I appreciate it. I play with my hair as well, but I don't use the camera as a mirror all the time. Sometimes I do. Just watch it.
They've seen President Biden. They've lived through his presidency. They've also seen former President Trump. They've lived through his presidency. They've heard these arguments about
does she not know that she's on
democracy,
camera?
about the fate of the election. And yet Trump is not only winning, but winning increasingly by a larger margin. So what is the plan among Democrats to change that trajectory? It sounds like you're talking about saying and doing all the same things, but do you believe that something needs to change?
I think we need to keep working.
They've seen President Biden. They've lived through his presidency. They've also seen former President Trump. They've lived through his presidency.
How old is Maxine? 85 freaking years old. I am not a proponent of term limits necessarily because, you know, there can be very functional old people. Let me just do one thing here. Maxine Waters harassment. Right here. Did I lose my dog? I lost my dog somewhere. Great. Okay. Here, let's play this and remind ourselves.
Wix gives you the power of.
I'm doing the little rap thing here. Okay, boom.
Can't protect the children. We can't protect anybody. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station,
you get in there. You absolutely.
And you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome.
They're not welcome.
Tell them they're not push back on them.
Oh, here.
Create a crowd, and you push back on them.
You create a crowd, and you push back on them, and you tell them that they're not welcome.
The people are going to turn on them. They're going to protest. They're going to absolutely harass them until they decide that they're going to tell the president, no, I can't hang with you.
I mean, this is it's an actual crime what she proposed there, but Trump is the one who is the bad man. Everybody, look, there's going to be no shortage of people live streaming that trial. I will. I think I've been summoned. To do things. Maxine's appropriate hair. What the? Okay, never mind. So that's what's going on here. I had some stuff in the backdrop that I thought we could have gotten to, but I think it's all going to be. Oh, well, the infighting. Okay, look, we'll end with a little bit of Joe Biden infighting. It's fantastic to see the snake eat its tail, the revolution devour its own, no honor among scoundrels, and so on and so forth. I can think of a number of expressions right now. George Clooney came out with an op-ed or an opinion piece in the New York Times saying why Joe Biden has to withdraw and that they're going to suspend or pause fundraising as if that even matters anymore. Then Rob Reiner comes out and says, George Clooney, my friend George Clooney has clearly expressed what many of us have been saying. We love and respect Joe Biden. We acknowledge all he has done for our country. But democracy is facing an existential threat. We need someone younger to fight back. Joe Biden must step aside. And the amazing thing about that is that you're now, the left is now witnessing what happens when you have selections, not elections. Now, I happen to agree that Joe Biden should have stepped aside a long time ago, and he's actually demented. But I also, and I have also predicted that he will not be the presidential nominee. But I think Barnes presents some darn good arguments as to why that's not right. But check this out here. No, I can't get that. How do I get? Because I got to bring up the other person who, in the replies to Rob Reiner, now you have the left saying, hey, slow down there, meathead. We just had these things called primaries. And the people have spoken. We want the demented buffoon, and who the hell are you to get in the way of that? I need to get flipping. This is what I want to share. So someone replying to him says, Rob, you need to stop now. Joe will not renounce. Continue on this path, and you are doing Trump's work for him. FDR was elected on his deathbed. This is how they rationalize it. Biden's going to destroy Trump in the debate. It was a bad night. Vote for him on his deathbed. Have some faith and get back on the team and bring that money. Can you imagine? Bring that money. Like, hey, shut up. And oh my gosh, the dog is annoying. Shut up and give us your money. And vote for the dead man walking. And it's just an amazing thing. And now you have people complaining, we had the primaries, we spoke, and now you don't get to pick and choose because we spoke and we picked the wrong person. And you have the people who cannot admit that Biden is demented, because then it means that they have been lied to by the media. It means the media has been covering it up for years. And they try to paint this off now as the media saying we were duped by Karine Jean-Pierre. They're going to throw Karine Jean-Pierre under the bus too. They all have to pretend we had no idea when they all knew. But then they say, well, we all knew, and we get to vote for whoever we want and vote for him on his deathbed. So that's, and then there's, we're going to end with one other good laugh. No, two good laughs. This one. No. I want to go back to Joe Biden. No, I wanted to bring up. Oh yeah, the other Crockett. Listen to this. The people, it's disgusting. Just wait for the end of it.
That we don't have a farm bill because the Republicans have decided they want to cut $30 billion from SNAP benefits when people only get $6 a day to eat from SNAP in the first place. You have a party that has sided with the Supreme Court that said it is okay to criminalize homelessness and it's okay for people to go hungry in the streets of America. If that's the America that you feel like is great, then you do have a candidate and you do have a party that will give you all of that hell. But I'm telling you right now that that is not what I consider to be greatness, and that's not living up to the promise of America the Beautiful. So you have an option. It may not be the perfect options that you were looking for, but I can guarantee you one is closer to knocking on the doors of heaven and the other is absolutely going straight to hell.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, as always, thank you for being here.
One is closer to knocking at the doors of heaven, and the other is going straight to hell.
Going straight to hell. It may not be the perfect options that you were looking for, but I can guarantee you one is closer to knocking on the doors of heaven and the other is absolutely going straight to hell.
Absolutely going straight to hell. The godless people, and I say this without judgment, if they want to be godless, sacrilegious, immoral, and beyond atheist, if they want to be godless, that's fine. The godless Democrats are now damning people to hell. And these are the same people who once upon a time judged, the religious Christians who believe in hell as being whatever words they came up with for them. One of them is knocking at heaven's door and the other one is going straight to hell. All right. And we're going to end with one last thing. Gavin Newsom, it's when I hear things like this, back in the day when I was wet behind the ears and I said, people are bad, but they're not that bad. A government wouldn't kill or be, a government wouldn't kill 200,000 people to win an election, right? A government wouldn't destroy an economy. It wouldn't destroy our way of life in order to win an election. Nobody is that evil, that sinister. Democrats did it, period. And they're telling us now what they did in 2020. They let people die by outlawing or banning over-the-counter prophylactics. They rigged, they crashed an economy so they could hold it against their political rival and blame it on him. They resulted in deaths of countless hundreds of thousands of people so they could win an election. And they're basically telling it to you when Gavin Newsom, Satan himself.
The world we inherited just 4 years ago. 14.8% unemployment under Donald Trump. 2.9% jobs lost.
Is that music in that video? I don't know what's going on there. Listen to this.
The world we inherited just 4 years ago. 14.8% unemployment under Donald Trump.
14.8% unemployment over Donald Trump. Their unemployment. They demanded the world be shut down. And yes, to his detriment, Trump acquiesced for a little bit or promoted it for a little bit. My goodness, it's so fortunate they shut down the world and destroyed the American economy in 2020. Hey, they get to use it against Trump then and now. It's amazing. It's great that they let people die and kill people and inflated the numbers so they can have mail-in voting. It helped them win the election. They killed people to win an election. Period.
Trump, 2.9 million jobs lost under the Trump administration, 154,000
Where's this music
manufacturing
coming
jobs
from?
lost under the Trump administration. The trade deficit went up 40.5% under the Trump administration. The debt went up. The deficits went up every single year.
Thanks to
Leaders
them.
around the globe were laughing behind his back.
No, they weren't. They're laughing at
was
Joe.
This country
That's this
4
country
years
right now.
ago, and look
Talking
what
over this
the Biden
music.
Harris administration has done
Let's
to
look.
turn that around.
Oh yeah, clap. What have they done? Who the hell knows? Brought the world close to World War III. Massive inflation.
With Democrats, things get better.
Things will get. Is that what he said? Things will get better. Yep. Oh, things get better. Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
You don't get it, dude. You absolutely don't, because you're not living a life of the people who do
You
get
saw
it.
what just happened 2 days ago.
He goes to the laundry basket or whatever the hell, the French laundry for his fancy dinners while he's locking down his seat. I just don't get it. Things are good for me.
6,000 new jobs. That's almost 15.8 million jobs.
Okay, we're going to see this 15 jobs created in 3.5 years. It's amazing. So great.
8-time Republican administration. Donald Trump, George H.W. Bush.
If anybody says, well, a government wouldn't kill its own citizens in order to win an election. Ooh, do I have unfortunate news for you. All right, I think that's it, people. I'm going to go see what I have to be summoned to do on the family level. And that's it. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I probably will not get to do a live stream tomorrow. I'm going to be in transit to Toronto for the Rebel News event on Friday, but maybe I'll get a stream tomorrow night. Traveling with 2 kids, 2 dogs. Ooh. Wish me luck, people. Thank you all for being here. I should have, let me see if there's anything going on in our locals community that I should have been paying attention to. Now they don't fear laughing in our face, says Salty Yankee. It's outrageous. All right. Well, if you want to follow the trial, I know others are going to be covering it tonight. I'll go back and watch and catch up when I maybe hop on the treadmill. Going to Rumble for a second. We're good on Rumble. And Calamity Susan, they did. They really, really did. There's no question about it. The death of one person is a tragedy. The death of a million is a statistic. The times when the government has allowed people to die for their own political profit, if anybody thinks it doesn't happen, well, you're still in the matrix. All right, we're going to go. This has been fun. I will see you all Saturday, Sunday on. We're going to have our Sunday show. It's going to be great. Next week at the RNC convention. Trump better pick J.D. Vance, people. I've got my personally motivated interests, but I only have a bet on J.D. Vance because I think he's the best candidate. And if I lose, I'll be unhappy for more than one reason. And that's it. Go. Enjoy the day. Thank you all for being here. And I hope, I can make that trial as interesting as possible. It's still going to be very boring until and unless Alec Baldwin gets on the stand. But I'll be following it. If I don't live stream it, I'll be following it. I'll pull up some highlights to let everybody know what's going on. Locals, vivabarneslaw.locals.com, Viva Frei on Rumble, and the Viva Frei on Twitter. Go forth and prosper, people. Good night. Up you go. Up you go. Move. go shut it down. Oh God. Hold on, people are gonna hear you. All right, Chet, thank you. Hold on, you mind if people hear you? Hold on, I wipe my nose on my shirt. What else did I do that's embarrassing? Okay, thank you. What the hell's the problem? All right, thanks a lot. What? Well, what the hell's going on, people? It says the stream ended. Am I still? It still says I'm here. Oh boy. Well, okay. I don't know if I'm still live here. Let me refresh. I'm not still live. What the? There's no way that people see me right now. Hold on. What is this? I'm going to go here. Okay. Press live. You still see me. I'm still here. Well, this is what have I been doing? Have I been? I haven't done. I don't think I've done anything embarrassing. This is great. Yeah, here. Let's just keep looking at me. I'm hearing me right now. This is weird. I hope I didn't pick my. I think. Because if there's three, now I'm still here. What in the name of sweet holy hell is going on? I'm going to end the third stream. How many windows are open? Is there another one here? Here, is there a fourth window? There's a fourth window. I hear this is a joke. End stream. End the stream. Seriously, there's a glitch. I can't even make it end. I can't make it end. I want to exercise. Okay, end the flipping stream. Yes, end. Closing that window. Closing that window. Okay, going here. Viva Barnes Law. Join the stream. Join the stream. I'm still here. Okay, well, this is actually mildly concerning now. How the hell do... Oh, I think I know what the problem is. I don't even know if you can see me now. All right, I'm going to StreamYard. What the flipping flidge. Tell me, oh my gosh. No, we're just doing this. I don't even know. I don't even know why this is happening. Is this real? Excuse me. I'm deleting this broadcast from. I can delete this broadcast. No, I don't want to delete it from everybody's. Dude, what the hell's going on here? Close all Chrome tabs, reopen, go into Rumble Studio and shut it.